Now, a few disclaimers before I begin. This is a rant video. I'm just going to go ahead and spout things off the top of my head. I'm not going to spoil anything Last of Us 2 related, and I know this isn't my typical content, but it's something I wanted to make a video about. I've done enough research to familiarize myself with the general gist of what's going on, so I'm going to go ahead and share my thoughts, kind of talk about what's going on, and yeah. And also, I'm not siding with anyone in this dispute because I think this is a show from every single angle. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dante, and I am a gamer, but in order to understand what this video is going to be about, you don't have to be a gamer, like video games. You don't have to be in the industry at all. This is something we can all kind of appreciate and relate to. Because, you know, when somebody leaks something about a movie, a book, a video game, TV show, it's never a fun thing for anyone. So I found out a nice discovery. The Last of Us Part 2 has been uploaded to YouTube, and there are just leaks and spoilers out there like crazy right now. An actual employee uploaded actual footage to YouTube. That's not good. That's not a good time. The thing is, with leaks, you have to take it with a grain of salt because you cannot believe everything you see on the internet. Apparently, the reason for this employee's leaking of the game has to do with the company's culture of crunching culture, and we'll get to that in a minute, and then also of some kind of financial dispute between the employee and the company. The employee, upset with the result of said dispute, leaked the game as retaliation. So basically it's just an upset employee decided to use this as an opportunity to get back at the company and just stick it to the man. That's a really high overview of the issue, so let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit. I'd like to begin by trying to understand maybe what was going through the employee's head whenever they decided to leak the game, because I want to understand it from both sides rather than just like casting judgment before I even really like try to understand somebody else. So crunch culture is an issue. It's a known issue, and Naughty Dog apparently has no problem owning up to that it is a thing. And crunch culture is not good for anybody because what it basically means is you're putting in long hours, you're putting in extra time. So like nights, weekends, you're spending more time than you typically would doing something, and just spending a ton of time eating away at your personal time to recharge, to do something and complete a task. And this is the perfect recipe for getting burnt out, because if you're spending all your waking moments doing something, it's gonna go from a point of like you're passionate and you're joyous about something, and then that thing is gonna become a source of negativity and stress and problems. And that's true for any field, not just developing games. If you do too much of something and dedicate a lot of time to something and you don't have enough time to balance with other things in your life, then you're gonna get burnt out. And it's challenging in this day and age because we are connected by these things where, you know, email, social media, your phone number, just getting texts and calls. You're constantly in the loop. In some capacity, we are always mentally on or mentally present with our careers. It's hard to flip that switch off so that whenever you're done at work or done with whatever it is you're doing, that you can finally go from work mode into play mode. It's increasingly more difficult as the years go by. Cool. Crunch culture is an issue. I think we can all agree on that. So the payment dispute. I mean, sure, if you get promised a bonus, I'm just gonna assume here, but like if you're promised a bonus and you suddenly don't get it, that's gonna frustrate you. Or even worse, if you're just straight up not getting paid, or they're just like not giving you your money, that's an issue in itself, and that is definitely a big no-no. Don't mess with people's money. Whenever it comes to like making sure that bills are paid and like you're the source of income, don't mess with people's money. So this employee is upset. They are bothered. So let's try to understand from their shoes right now. So they've had a dispute about crunch culture. They're probably feeling burnt out, super high stress, just completely motivation is gone, passion is gone. It is now a source of stress. And then on top of that, there's the layer of finances on top of it. So this person is really on edge. Now they decide to retaliate by revealing a highly anticipated title that people have been working on and used as their passion project for years. Okay, now this is where you lose me. Honestly, this is where you lose me in this argument. Now, I'm not going to downplay what this person might have gone through because, you know, getting burnt out sucks. And then the math adds up if you think about everything that led up to this. Finances and stress, you know, a company culture that's, you know, making you work super freaking hard and put in long hours. But why act out and reveal a game and submit leaks to YouTube and upload videos for the public to see? That is not the way you should be approaching it. This is a very childish and, in my opinion, selfish way of expressing yourself. Because when you think about it, why leak a game? What gain do you want from that? I mean, that has to be for personal gain, because You wanted to use that as a way to get back at them. It's not about the other people that have worked so hard on this with you. It's not about the other people that are crunching with you and the team that has put their heart and soul into this and put so much time and dedication into it. It's about you. It's about you just wanting to get back at them for something they did to you. And you did that at other people's expense. That is not the way to communicate a message, and not a way to communicate your frustration, maybe disappointment, and that's not the way to do it. You could have like gone out with a professional, like, you know, a journalist, and done an interview. You could have been on a podcast or something and talked about it. I mean, there are other ways you could have expressed your opinion without jeopardizing literally everybody else. And not to mention, if you signed an NDA, oh man, Sony's lawyers are gonna have a field day with you, because sir, or ma'am, I don't know, person, human being, I don't know if you're a human being either. You could be an animal, you could be a panda or something. I don't freaking know. Pandas are cool. But person, you are screwed, because if you have an NDA and you just leaked a game, bro, you're done. Your job is done. Your career is done. Your time in the gaming industry is done. Like, think about it. You're done. Like, no one else is gonna hire you. Like, was it worth it? Was it worth it? And then also, if like maybe you didn't get a bonus, like, was it worth it to reveal this game? Really? I don't know if it was worth it. I honestly could not put a price on like the contributions that I could have made in this. Like, if someone, I don't know, like, thinking about it, it's just kind of like you just sacrificed literally everything just to feel like you did something right. Like, and again, this is my opinion, this is assuming, this is not fact. You can disagree, you can agree. I mean, just want to throw that out there, because I know that sometimes the internet can be quick to judge, but it's just like, why is that your way of expressing that? And even if you didn't sign an NDA, you're gonna have issues. But I'm gonna calm down, I'm gonna relax, because Naughty Dog, you're not in the clear either, bro. Now, I want to be 100% transparent. I have not played The Last of Us. I am not a super fan. I have simply watched other YouTubers play it, and I've watched my friends play it. So I'm not a super fan. It's not something that is in my interest, my bag of interests. So, I mean, there's a lot of the storyline and stuff that I simply don't know. But I don't have to be a super fan or even a fan to know that crunch culture is a no-no. Like, the fact that Naughty Dog is encouraging people to spend so much time and energy and resources in burning them out, essentially, and expecting this game to be great, that's not right. That's simply not okay. Like, the way I like to think of this is like a sprint. You can sprint for like 100 meters and you're going to be perfectly fine. But if you tell people to sprint for a half marathon or even a marathon, it's simply not going to work. That's not sustainable, and you can't do that. You can sprint short distances. Like, sometimes if you need to crunch for like a week or something, you can do it as long as you have time to recover afterwards. But they're just expecting people to sprint for like months. That's inexcusable. This is no way to treat your employees. This is not a culture that you should encourage with your employees, especially whenever they're the ones that are keeping you relevant, because they're the ones making your game. These people deserve a lot of positive praise and energy. Like, they need positive vibes right now, because they're going through it. Also, there's no excuse for a bad story. There's no excuse for a bad story. I mean, that's something that all of us gamers, even people that just appreciate TV shows and movies, there's no excuse for a bad story. And I mean, I don't know the story really of The Last of Us 1, so I don't know just how bad, and I haven't seen the spoilers. I don't even know if I have seen the spoilers, because I don't know. I'm just ignorant. So I don't really know just how severely they messed up with it. I don't know. But I do know that a game with a disappointing story is, well, disappointing. I mean, for a sequel story to feel detached, or maybe just like not as good as the first one, I mean, this is just speaking in a general sense, that's never a good thing. I mean, there is kind of an expectation that like the sequel is probably not going to be as good as the first one, because the originals always seem to be better in like everything. But it's just, I don't know, man. It's just a bad story is a bad story, and it'll forever be a bad story if you put it out like that. Now, of course, I gotta give the benefit of a doubt to a certain degree that there's no way to know that it's a bad story until you release the product or put out the game, and then you get your feedback and criticism on it. But at the same time, the negativity and the disdain for this storyline that's apparently out there now, it's very widespread. Like, I'd say at least 75% of the feedback I've seen has been like, yeah, the story sucks, story's trash, story's garbage. So I find it hard to believe that there wasn't at least one person on that team that had maybe a thought, maybe this isn't the story, or maybe there was, and maybe they just weren't listened to. I mean, I just find it hard to believe that nobody questioned the story. It's like there had to be some indication that this story was gonna suck if it's this widely disliked. My argument is based on assumptions here. So I mean, do with that what you will. But game leaks really just annoy me because, like, what's the point of leaking a game? Do you want internet points for leaking a game? Because guess what? This is 2020 and everyone's gonna forget about you in 3 seconds. And the one thing, if you're even remembered, is do you really want to be tied to something negative? Do you really want to be tied to something that is like a bad action, essentially? I mean, I know some people appreciate leaks, but I'm not one of them. I'm one of those people that likes to experience the joy of a game and experience something without knowing what's going to happen. Like, if you get insider info, cool, good for you. Keep it to yourself. And if you want, like, share it in your little group chat with your friends. That's cool. Wow, awesome stuff. But don't spread it out there, because like there are times where like I've gotten spoilers for other games where like I'll just be like reading through the YouTube comment section of something, like for example Pokemon, I'll see spoilers in there, or like Zelda Breath of the Wild, I'll see spoilers in the comment section, or I'll be like, I'll sign on to Twitter and first thing I'll see is a spoiler, or like, you know, things on Facebook too. It's just like spoilers will attack you in the wild once they're out there. There's no stopping it, because you can't just have your guard up all the freaking time. I know you can filter out certain keywords on like Twitter and stuff, so I would highly encourage doing that if you don't want to be spoiled, but it's the fact that like you can find these in the wild. I mean, like whenever I was looking through Naughty Dog's response to all of this, which I'll get to in a second, I was looking at the responses just to see like the general feedback, and there were spoilers in there. There were just like chilling. And it's difficult because The Last of Us leaks, they're out there. And like I said about Naughty Dog's response, the fact that they even took the time to acknowledge it and respond to it means that there is some weight to them. I mean, because if there was nothing, if these were just like wild claims, they wouldn't have said anything. But the fact that they came out not only with a release date, but also just giving a press release, for lack of a better phrase, about this, I feel like these leaks kind of hold some weight in some regards. So let me go ahead and read to you what Naughty Dog said. "We know the last few days have been incredibly difficult for you. We feel the same. It's disappointing to see the release and sharing of pre-release footage from development. Do your best to avoid spoilers, and we ask that you don't spoil it for others. The Last of Us Part 2 will be in your hands soon. No matter what you see and hear, the final experience will be worth it." So the fact that you acknowledge them, that holds some weight. It further validates these leaks to at least some level of truth. I don't know, man. Y'all got exposed, and then you got forced to show your hand, and now we're here. So what are you going to do now? Are you going to go back and rework the storyline? I don't know. But it's just like, it's a mess. Just stop overworking people. Don't underpay people, or just not pay people at all. And just delay the game if you need more time. Delay it. If you need more time to make the game good, then delay it. Take that time to do so. So what do you guys think about the whole situation? How are you feeling? How do you feel this could have been handled differently? Let me know in a comment below. Tell me your thoughts, because I'm interested to see what you guys think about this. I feel like this kind of exposes some of the issues with the gaming industry as a whole, but that is a whole different debate for a different day. So if you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button. This isn't typically the content that I make. I make, you know, sit down vlogs, but not typically about video games anymore, because, you know, but if this video is well received, I'll consider making more in the future. I mean, I started out on YouTube actually as a gaming content creator, and then just kind of moved into lifestyle vlogging, you know, just kind of like going out and doing things. So, you know, gaming has a special place in my heart. I've been doing it since I was little. So, but that's going to pretty much wrap it up, guys. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And as always, have yourselves a blessed day. Wash your hands. Wash your hands and use some of the hand sanitizer if you have it, which I will do right. Oh, Jesus. Okay, my floor is sanitized now.